relentless winter is bringing a double punch to the Northeast.
We have Winter Storm Iola wrapping up the next storm system on the way, and it could be another snowmaker.
We are breaking down the all-important timing, plus incredible images from Iola. That's next in this special edition of Weather Center Live.
Glad to have you with us this evening. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. Busy day in the Northeast. We're in our lab with our storm tracker, Carl Parker, and storm specialist, by the way, to talk about that next threat as well that's going to be impacting millions of people.
It looks like it's going to be a blockbuster storm, the biggest storm of the season, most likely coming in late Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
You have been talking about it nonstop since you came in today, and so we're going to share everything that's in his head with you out there. But we got to look at what's been happening with Iola in the Northeast. Take a look at this. We got a roof collapse here of a parking garage in Secaucus, New Jersey, possibly under the weight of the snow.
We're still kind of waiting to hear the details if that's in fact what happened. This picture from Brian Thompson from our affiliate WNBC in New York. Up to 9 inches of snow has fallen in that area since last night, so in the realm of possibility there.
A lot of liquid in that snow, that's for sure.
Andover, Massachusetts, also maybe about a half a foot of snow in some spots from Iola. So far they've had about 4.5 inches in areas, but it's still coming down.
And Mike Seidel is in Andover with an update for us. Mike?
It's now been snowing here in Andover almost consistently for 12 hours. We had a break during the early afternoon hours with a little sleet and freezing drizzle, but now it's coming down. Looking up Main Street, and the plows have been out consistently over and over. They don't mess around. They've got 200 pieces of equipment, a lot of rock salt. What has helped us out today is temperatures have been right around 31 or 32, but now they're going to fall down to the mid-20s as the snow wraps up. Let me show you what the roads look like. Earlier today as we rode around Andover, some of these 2-lane roads were snow-packed and snow-covered. Now they're going to plow and salt everything once the storm wraps up this evening here in Andover. We got that from the Deputy Director of Public Works here in the town of Andover. Meanwhile, not great driving overall, as we had all the snow out here all day, and it's still slippery and slushy, so you have to slow down. Again, the concern on Sunday morning, black ice in roads that have not been treated, and especially your carports, your driveways, your sidewalks. This heavy wet snow has a lot of moisture in it. It's going to kind of freeze up tonight. Tomorrow, a beautiful day here in southern New England. Good ski weekend, good ski Sunday, a lot of sunshine, around freezing. We'll get some melting. Then a big refreeze Monday morning. Temperatures out here in the high single numbers, 7, 8, 9 degrees. And then heads up, all the weather maps and models pointing to a big snowstorm Monday night and Tuesday. The difference with that one, colder temperatures and more wind. We could be looking at double-digit snowfall totals by the time we wrap up Tuesday. Stay with the Weather Channel for the latest. For now, I'm Weather Channel meteorologist Mike Seidel in downtown Andover, Massachusetts.
Mike, and we're not even done with this one yet here, but we are looking ahead to that next one. Let's look at the radar right now because Mike is not out of the snow just yet. You can see that we've got this pretty much steady snow that is picked up throughout the area and filled in. This band right back here, this is where we're getting a little more moderate snow. This still has to swing through the area. So we are in it for another, at least I would say 2 to 3 hours before this comes all the way through. We're about out of it in Springfield. Here, your snow is about to end, and then you'll see some drier weather moving in here. Now, one thing that has not really been a problem is the wind. That's some good news. The winds out in the Cape have been a bit gusty, but we really haven't gotten the snow there. So we haven't seen the wind be a problem with that snowfall. With the kind of snow we've been dealing with, and you saw those temperatures right at about 30 to 33 degrees, that kind of heavy wet snow and wind would have been a bad combination. So we did okay, I think, with that without having the very strong winds. Now, one other problem we got to talk about is once this swings out and we have all these streets that are slushy or wet, we are going to find temperatures dropping overnight. And Maria, we could have some big black ice concerns.
Oh, definitely. And actually the winds may actually be a good thing when you're talking about the setup that we're looking at for the black ice. And I'll explain that in a second. But we've been tracking the remnants. Jen was showing us the back edge of the snow, even some of the mixed in with the rainfall. If we still have a few hours to go, so you have the snowfall on the roadways to be concerned about. That begins to end and wrap up even as we get into this evening. So that is some good news there. But you still have temperatures close to or below freezing, and you still have a system that's deepening and bringing those winds. The winds could actually dry the road surfaces, which will help with when you're talking about black ice. However, with that said, you have the salt from the roadways that keeps some of that wet for a time, but now you're talking about that refreeze, and all it takes is your wheel to catch a little bit of that ice and you're in trouble. Let's time it out for you. Where you're seeing the shaded colors, these are the areas that are at or below freezing. We stop it for tomorrow morning. Are you heading out for that run or the church service early on? Well, give it some time because, Jen, once the mid-morning and into the early afternoon, you have some areas getting above freezing, and of course some of that sun helping to melt it.
And dry things out too.
Yes.
All right, so we get that out of the way, and then we look to the next one. Carl, this next storm really looks to be a big one, unlike any that we've really seen yet this season.
Yeah, you know, I'm not saying that you want to clear all the bread off the shelves, but maybe it's time to clear all the bread off the shelves. So,
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
There's
there you
big
go.
words, Carl.
I mean, this is going to be a
paid
really
by,
big deal. There's a lot of model support for this system at this point. In fact, we talked about the fact that the European model is saying that we're going to get a big storm, but it's not just the European models. The whole family of models under the umbrella of the European model. They're called the ensemble members, and the ensemble members are giving the European model a tremendous amount of support on this idea of there being a very big storm coming up here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the Northeast Corridor. Now, the origins of this storm are actually rather humble right now. We're looking at a clipper that's coming down through the northern plains. There's not much to it. It's going to be an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches across some parts of the western lakes. But there is a tremendously strong jet stream now out here that's coming into the west coast of North America, 200-mile-per-hour winds, and as that comes down through the eastern part of the country, we're going to see this highly amplified pattern, tremendous amplification there, and as a result, a very slow-moving system. And then when we zoom down here, you'll notice right in here where the low is developing, the winds are going to be accelerating and away from that low in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And as we talked about this before, when you're in traffic, for example, and you get into a bend, all the cars slow down, and then when it becomes a straightaway, they tend to really take off.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen with the air molecules. They begin to spread out, and nature abhors a vacuum, and so air comes in from underneath to fill that. That creates this tremendous rising motion and a very strong
can't wait to fill
low.
that spot, right? Like you think about sitting in traffic, you can't, and that's what's happening in the air. Just can't wait to get out there.
Exactly what happens. The cars might be stuck in the secondary roads, and then when it begins to clear, they all start clearing out. So we are likely going to get a very strong low, and talking about maybe a foot or more of snow in that 95 corridor.
All right, Carl, thank you for that. So we're in the middle of covering one big storm, another one on the way.
So we're going to show you what's left of Iola. This is a live look.
Boston.
Ring ring.
Progresso.
It's okay that your soup tastes like my homemade.
It's our slow simmered vegetables and tender white meat chicken.
Apology accepted. I'm watching you, soup people.
Make it Progresso or make it yourself.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
So, you say men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Then how do I get this
Safe driving bonus check? Every 6 months without an accident, Allstate sends a check. Okay. Silence. Are you in good hands?
Didn't you already do all this over there?
Just wait. Parties always end up in the kitchen.
Get more Pepsi and Tostitos with unbeatable prices. Backed by Savings Catcher. Walmart.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Please?
No.
Please?
No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow, my headache's gone.
Excedrin Mild Headache.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantore joins Sam Champion and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, starting Monday.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, generally clear skies, low 48. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. High 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 52. Winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, the Titans of weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure. 24 vitamins and minerals, 9 grams of protein with 30% less sugars than before. Ensure, your #1 doctor recommended brand, now introduces Ensure Active. Muscle health, clear protein drink, and high protein. Targeted nutrition to feed your active life. Ensure, take life in.
Home, Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing.
Ready, Star Command. Prepare for launch.
This should be good.
To infinity!
We all have a Disney side.
Everyone in the car, let's go get them.
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all. That you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Hey there, Boston. This is what you looked like earlier today. Video sent in to us from Wilmington, Massachusetts. About 3 inches in the Boston area. More is falling, so we're still getting some of those updated snowfall totals for you. But Iola, Winter Storm Iola, not quite done yet, and already we are looking upstream to see what's headed next. So our window of opportunity here is closing as far as the the amount of time we have between the systems. It's pretty incredible. So Boston, for you, you've got today with the snowfall and the precipitation still an issue. Tomorrow the sun comes out. Clouds are back as early as Monday, and then Tuesday is a whole other ball game here where you have temperatures only into the 20s and a major looking like a major winter storm headed your way. It's starting humble beginnings as an area of low pressure, Clipper, riding along that jet stream. In the wake of Iola, you do have a nice foundation of cold air. And as this continues tonight, through the day tomorrow, and then finally on Monday, it does have cold air to work with. And everywhere you see that blue is where we're going to see the track of snow. But by the time Monday and Tuesday rolls around, you've got the upper level winds really helping to enhance the strength of the system at the surface. And that's going to be our next big winter storm. Here's how it looks for tomorrow as far as precipitation. You have snow from Iowa in through Ohio and into Pennsylvania. By Monday, things get interesting. So you see the snow already into the D.C. area, Philadelphia, New York, and then by Tuesday into Boston. But look, all blue on the map as far south as Virginia, as far north again into Maine. So there are a lot of places that are going to see that saw snow today, and Jen are going to see it again by the time Monday and Tuesday rolls around. So for a lot of us, Sunday is it.
Yes. You know what? This system, this next one is a clipper. And Chicago, we get a lot of clippers that come through here during the winter. So we'll show you what's going to come your way because of this. At the moment, you are wrapping up a very nice Saturday. Wasn't actually that bad out there today, temperature-wise, not bad. But watch what's going to happen overnight tonight, Chicago. Right now, you look great, right? But the weather is going to be changing big time overnight. So we take a look at our water vapor because this lets us really see into the atmosphere and see how the air is moving. It's showing the moisture, and we can watch that move around in the atmosphere. Let's circle the area that we're tracking. This right here, this spin, this is the low pressure. This is the Clipper system that is going to be the next big winter storm to track through the Midwest and eventually get into the Northeast. At the moment, it's bringing snow, and you see that now starting to dip down into South Dakota. North Dakota's been seeing it throughout the day today. Minnesota, Wisconsin, also into Illinois. Nothing yet, but here we go. We put our forecast into motion, and we'll show you when that tracks in. So we track in through the evening, overnight tonight. We're going to be watching the snow to overspread southern Minnesota, also into southern Wisconsin tomorrow morning. We're looking at tomorrow afternoon into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. This is Sunday night, 10 o'clock. And I'll tell you what, this one could add up. We could see 1 to 3 inches of snow in a pretty widespread area. But Maria, this Clipper is going to have a little more juice. We'll get about 3 to 5 inches in Ohio.
And as we see with the last few, you know, the school districts are making that call. Is, you know, timing wise is important. But when you're looking at 3 to 5, are you going to be dealing with leftovers on Monday?
So that was Sunday night.
Right.
So let's time out how it's going to affect travel.
And you can see big interstates here. Look at I-80 and the transition from the blue and then how that goes further to the south. So you were pointing out earlier today, good point too, I-70 rainfall by midday on Sunday.
So this is like church and brunch. I-80 is not good. And I-70, you know, it's wet, it's not great, but it's not terrible for driving. But then Sunday evening, when you're thinking about going out to maybe do some errands, do your grocery shopping, this is when you need to make sure you can get home quickly because we've got I-70 starting to see the snow and the sun sets and the cold air starts to really come in.
And you know, some of the airports will be starting to be impacted here too. You've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So if you're doing any traveling back from or to business deals here in the Northeast, it's going to be an issue. Chicago for sure.
Yeah, so Chicago, just your timing again. It's overnight tonight, tomorrow morning. It's snowing. Temperatures are in the low 30s, and we'll see that through the day tomorrow.
So that's the next winter storm. This one, Winter Storm Iola, still going. What's left? We'll track it.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Please.
No.
Please.
No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow, my headache's gone.
Excedrin Mild Headache.
All right, so this Tylenol arthritis lasts 8 hours, but Aleve can last 12 hours. And Aleve is proven to work better on pain than Tylenol arthritis. So why am I still thinking about this?
How are you?
Get Aleve, proven better on pain.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Louisville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way.
There is something in the people, something in the sand, there's something in the air, something in the water, something in the night. It's called All Right, and it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of All Right.
Replacing old drain lines used to mean tearing up floors and walls and digging a huge trench in your house, but not anymore. Now there's trenchless drain line repair. Our trenchless pipelining method creates a new permanent pipe inside the existing pipe. A liner saturated with epoxy is inserted into the pipe. A bladder is inflated until the epoxy hardens to form a new pipe inside the old pipe. It's removed and the pipe is ready for use, better than new. Need a drain line repair? Go trenchless. Call Quick Plumbers today.
There's no obligation, so call toll-free at 1-800-200-6120.
The Weather Channel unearths the investigations, the mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, generally clear skies, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds, high 70, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 52, winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. We've been talking a lot about Iola, as a meteorological bomb, and we want to talk about why that is. What that means is explosive development of the area of low pressure, which is what we have seen because of the terrific amount of ascent or lift in the atmosphere, and that's related to this jet structure. It's called a coupled jet structure, and so here is the jet stream right through here, and then within that you've got these jet cores. There's one core right there, and here's another core right there. Core is an area where the winds are much stronger, and here's a schematic of that. So within the jet stream, you've got a little area where the winds really pick up in speed, and where they accelerate, they're deflected to the left, just like that, and then where they decelerate, they are deflected to the right. Now that deflection to the left and to the right creates a circulation around that jet core such that you get ascent or rising motion basically right in here at the right entrance region of that jet core, and then you get ascent at the left exit region of that jet core. So knowing that about jet cores, and then we've got two of them right here, you've got a left exit region right in there next to the area of surface low pressure, and you've got a right entrance region also right next to that area of surface low pressure. So we've got two areas of ascent or lift in the atmosphere, and those two working together provide a tremendous amount of lift, of vertical motion, and that is what gets that area of low pressure really going. And when you've got tremendous lift, that magnifies everything. It makes the whole thing much stronger. You get more rain, more snow, more wind. But this low has been moving right along. It's been a very progressive system. Now we're going to see something different coming up this week. We're going to see a similarly very strong storm, but this storm is actually going to take its sweet time coming up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And for that reason, we are talking about potentially tremendous impacts there across the Northeast Tuesday and Wednesday. It's going to be a really big deal, most likely.
We have our eyes on it, yeah.
So we got New York City and its boroughs in the path of Winter Storm Iola today.
We had in the Bronx as much as 2 to 4 inches reaching the ground.
Jonathan Vigliotti from our affiliate WNBC joins us with the latest in Bedford Park. Jonathan, have they started clearing the roads back there?
Hey, good evening to you. Yeah, the plows have been out since the early morning hours. They're still out this evening. We've seen a lot of them, to be quite honest, though. They're starting to look pretty bored, and that's because there's not a lot of snow left to plow. Let me show you what we're talking about. This is the Mosholu Parkway. It's a main street here in the Bronx, and you're seeing a lot of blacktop. That's because the snow completely gone. We're seeing that here on all of the major roadways and all of the side streets. Again, those plows working around around the clock since this snowfall began earlier today. The Bronx, where we are, among the 5 boroughs, was the hardest hit, but as you mentioned, only about 2 to 4 inches of snow. If this was a work day, if this was a weekday, you could bet that would be pretty hellish, but since it is a Saturday and a lot of people had the option, fortunately, to stay in, it made pretty easy going for those plows to get out and to do their job. You could imagine, though, earlier on, a lot of people getting used to that snow. We saw a lot of people with spinning wheels as they were trying to get their cars out, and some neighbors with helpful hands pushing others out. But for the most part, no major injuries, no major accidents to report. The big concern, I guess, at this point, if you could say, the snow here, you could see the warm weather has pretty much deflated it. That means a lot of water now here spilling onto the roadways and onto the sidewalk. As the freezing temperatures below 30 we're expecting tonight come in, the concern now is the frozen ice, the black ice. And so officials here warning New Yorkers to still take it easy if you're going to be walking on the sidewalks or on the streets. Be very careful, be cautious. I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Jonathan Vigliotti in the Bronx, thank you so much. Remember, business owners, homeowners responsible for cleaning off the sidewalks.
Oh, all right. Well, we got another storm on the way that they're going to have to clean up, and we'll have a lot more on that coming up next.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
It's okay that your soup tastes like my homemade.
It's our slow-simmered vegetables and tender white meat chicken.
Apology accepted. I'm watching you, soup people.
Make it Progresso or make it yourself.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with relief so smooth, it's fast. Tums Smoothie starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
Please.
No.
Please.
No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow, my headache's gone.
Excedrin Mild Headache.
There's a big difference between running a race and leading one. When you're in charge, you get to call the shots. How cool is that? The 2015 Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
Now is the time to experience the freedom of guided travel with Colette. Marvel at iconic landmarks. Savor delicious meals. Come to know new cultures and make new friends. Across all 7 continents, enjoy immersive itineraries featuring experiences you can only find with Colette. All you have to do is embrace the adventure. To order your free brochure, visit us at GoColette.com. Experience the best in guided travel.
Oh, there's an energy crisis happening, all right. A human one. And it's time to fight it. With the good energy of Quaker Oats. It's how we help keep go-getters like you going and getting. One bite at a time. Try new Quick Steel Cut oatmeal for a heartier texture. Quaker Up.
My Tempur-Pedic made me fall in love with mornings again.
And I love how it conforms to my body. With Tempur-Pedic, the whole bed is comfortable.
The best thing we ever did for ourselves is helping to keep us young.
It's your year. Treat yourself to your best night's sleep with Tempur-Pedic.
After John Huntsman was diagnosed with cancer, he founded Huntsman Cancer Institute.
To fight cancer in new and different ways.
Like combining 300 years of family histories with health records. To treat, predict, and in many cases, prevent cancer. With the vital understanding that cancer moves fast.
And we have to move faster.
To learn more or support the cause, go to huntsmancancer.org.
Atlantic Beach Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Louisville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Jim Cantori joins AMHQ starting Monday on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, generally clear skies, low 48. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. High 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 52. Winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, the Titans of weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
What an amazing sunset tonight.
Hashtag it's amazing out there, and it happened to be so in Edison, New Jersey. Anywhere in the Northeast, I'm thinking where the snow had kind of wrapped up, you had that sunset, amazing.
And
We've
the
been getting
sky
some good
on
ones.
fire. I mean, look at that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We have seen a lot of New York City area sunsets, and this one is unique. You have that pinkish hue. Thank you so much for sharing these. Here, they came out on Twitter this afternoon. Thank you, appreciate it.
And you want to talk about good timing, right? It was only a few minutes. You had that opportunity.
It was 7 minutes. We timed it.
to grab that camera. And thank goodness you did. Brooklyn, New York. This one from @Planko11. Appreciate you sending that in to us.
All right, we have one more. Oh, this one down in Virginia, Front Royal.
And you got a little moon there in the upper left.
A little crescent moon. Wow. Great looking evening to start here, but we do still have some snow to track falling from Iola. Plus, we got something else to watch as well.
Jen Carfagno, I'm Maria LaRosa. We appreciate your time with us on this Saturday. It has been very busy. A lot of snow falling in New England, still falling in New England with Winter Storm Iola not done there.
Yeah, we still could get a couple more inches of snow coming on down, especially from parts of Massachusetts up into Maine. That's where we find our Mike Seidel. He is in Andover, Massachusetts with an update. Mike.
The snow will be winding down in the next few hours out here in Andover in the Merrimack Valley. We're about 30 miles northwest of Boston. Temperatures will fall into the mid-20s. Everything's going to freeze up that hasn't been treated. And let's bring in Mark Fournier, who's the Deputy Director of Public Works here in the city of Andover. And you've been out since 7 this morning, 200 pieces of equipment.
Right.
What's in store this evening as the snow wraps up?
So we've got the guys on break now. As you said, they've been out since 7. We'll go back out after that last wave of snow comes through. They'll plow the whole town. We'll go back out and we'll treat all the roads, and while we're doing that, we'll plow the sidewalks, and then we'll go home.
And rock salt is the main melter in the city?
It is.
And you've gone through a lot today, I assume.
Have hundreds of tons probably today. We'll use about 100 tons or so on each run through the town on average.
And how many runs do you think you made through this town? I've seen plows, it seems like every 10 minutes.
Yep, so we've been plowing since about mid-morning this morning because, as you know, the storm's been kind of dragging on. So we've made quite a few runs. And we keep the guys doing that as long as we have to, and we have to kind of adjust when we have a funny storm like this.
And you gave them the heads up on what's ahead for Monday night and Tuesday. We discussed this.
We did, and we're preparing for a long duration storm on Monday through Wednesday, and we're looking at that now, and we'll be talking about it over the next couple of days.
And you do the 12 hours on, 12 hours off?
We'll figure something like that. Sometimes it's 16, sometimes it's 12. We'll look at how long the storm's going to go.
And a lot of coffee.
And a lot of coffee.
Mark, good luck.
Sure.
We may see you back here Monday night and Tuesday with a snowstorm of record maybe for the winter on the way here in New England. We'll keep you updated. Again, the snow winds down this evening. Tomorrow sunny at about 32. And then Monday night and Tuesday, that's the time frame for what could be a potentially crippling storm in parts of the Northeast. I'm Weather Channel meteorologist Mike Seidel, downtown Andover, Massachusetts.
Mike, the snow is wrapping up, but it's not over yet there in New England. So I want to show you what the radar looks like to show you how much more left the storm has in it. You see these brighter colors, these darker blues right here. That's where we do have some steadier snow still left to come through Andover. So get ready for that, Mike and everyone else in the area. Coming through parts of New Hampshire right now, also into down East Maine, and then even in Connecticut and Rhode Island. Look at that. You've got the snow coming down very steadily, putting some additional accumulation out there in your driveway that you're going to have start to clear off tomorrow morning. Now, one thing we have going on here, or not going on, is the winds have not been terribly strong, which I think has really saved us from any big-time power outages with this heavy, wet snow we've been tracking. The next system that comes to the Northeast will have a whole different sort of set of scenarios with it, and Carl and Maria are tracking that.
What's amazing is we're talking about snow in the Northeast, but this one, Iola, started in the Southwest, brought snow to Texas, and came on that southern route. This one is different.
Yeah, starting as a clipper,
right.
But then a lot of the energy that's going to shape this whole event is now sitting over the Pacific Ocean and is going to come through Western Canada and drive down into the Southeast in the next couple of days. So here's the visible satellite picture. We're watching this tremendous jet stream. Right in here, you've got winds that are getting up to as high as 200 miles per hour at about 30,000 feet up, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. And that strong wind, that velocity is going to come down and through Canada right around like this and then drop down through the northern plains. So what we're looking at here is the energy in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, using that as a proxy for where we expect to see all this stormy weather developing. And notice the trough, the very deep trough that develops right there. And because that wind is so strong, it's going to force that area to go way out, to cut way out right in here. And that is going to allow this whole thing to cut off from the main flow of the jet stream. And because it's going to cut off, because it's going to become its own entity, rather than a storm that's traveling through the jet stream, it's actually shaped by the jet stream. The whole thing is becoming one giant storm, the jet stream surrounding it, the low in the middle, and then the surface low and the tremendous amount of lift. And so it's not going to move very quickly, and that's really important because not only is it going to be a tremendously strong storm, it's also going to take a long, long time to move.
What's interesting is when you forecast these kinds of storms and you watch that strengthening, it's almost like it takes its time to strengthen, and while that is happening, it almost rotates these heavy bands of snow inward, so you can get periods of snow as it's intensifying to sit over the same region.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Little mesoscale bands, as we call them, and that's directly related to that lift in the atmosphere that's going to be caused by that very strong jet stream overhead. So here's the low. It's really not doing much at that time. It's just starting to get going Monday morning, but then between Monday morning and Tuesday morning, kapow, tremendously strong storm. But unlike this last one, it's not going to zip right out. It's going to be with us right through late Tuesday, right into early Wednesday. That's why we're talking about maybe more than a foot, maybe well more than a foot of snow in some areas of the 95 corridor.
That is amazing. And we've been talking about inches of snow with this storm, Jen, and we've been getting some great pictures of that.
And not just from the Northeast where you might have been expecting the snow, but all the way into the South we saw snow, and you took pictures and sent them to us. We appreciate it. This one is from Kentucky. Snow Go USA snapped this scene this morning after just a brief coating of snow and a pale sky. I love it. This other one from Kentucky, Hatfield, Kentucky. Mary Reed Runyon sent this in too, and you can see all the trees look like they are just, someone sprayed them with some spray paint and snow. It looks fabulous out there this morning. Now, it was about a ½ inch of snow in Tennessee. Up in Kentucky, it was a little more than that, more like 1 to maybe even 2 inches of snow in spots. And for some spots, it was a daily record, not in Nashville, but you did pick up officially 0.6 at the airport. So slightly more than a ½ inch in Nashville. Now, one thing that we've been tracking for you today is that skies cleared after that snow. Winds were gusty throughout the day, but the winds have calmed down. And now we are seeing temperatures that are going to start dropping off here in the Southeast. I just got a tweet from someone in Jacksonville, and they said it's blustery and it's cold. And actually, Jacksonville, you get colder tomorrow morning down to 37. All these spots in the Southeast will be dropping with these nice clear skies out here. So we had a windy day in the Southeast today. We also had a windy day in the Southwest, Maria.
Yeah, and we could be talking about wind chills right now in Jacksonville. Amazing, but a beautiful representation of the wind story and the connection it has to what's happening out west, which is not a cooling, it is a warming. But night has fallen. You still have our big winter storm Iola. Those winds, the deepening of that system helping to contribute to the winds, but you have this huge ridge out west. Excuse me, Carl was showing us that flow with the jet stream. Well, it's an offshore flow in Southern California, and that is a warming wind, the Santa Anas. And what's happening there is that we actually could be looking at records. And look at the departures from average here, 10 to 20 degrees above the average for this time of year. And Jen, when you're talking Sacramento, Redding, Medford, Oregon, mid and upper 60s. 60s tomorrow, records could fall.
It's interesting that they're sitting on the beach, right, enjoying the warm temperatures, but it's all related to the snow in the east. The whole pattern is related. All right, we'll track more on Winter Storm Iola coming up. We'll take a little deeper dive at what's been happening with this deep storm.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, generally clear skies, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds, high 70, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 52, winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Happy birthday! Make a wish, buddy. Okay, now Mom's gonna cut the cake.
We all have a Disney side.
Who wants ice cream?
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
Didn't you already do all this over there?
Just wait. Parties always end up in the kitchen.
Get more Pepsi and Tostitos with unbeatable prices. Backed by Savings Catcher. Walmart.
Please? No. Please? No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow, my headache's gone.
Excedrin Mild Headache.
I have the flu with a runny nose. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold won't treat your runny nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Severe Cold and Flu relieves your worst flu symptoms plus runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Ho, ho, ho.
At 100 calories, not all food choices add up. Some are giant, some not so giant. When managing your weight, bigger is always better.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
There's people who care where I'm going, and good friends who welcome me home. So get a full tank of freedom, drive the American road. And with a full tank of freedom, find your own highway, we'll take you wherever you go. Take you wherever you go.
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah?
Yeah. Then how'd I get this
Allstate Safe Driving bonus check?
Who's that?
so weird, right? My agent Tom said,
Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
but I'm a woman. Maybe it's a misprint. Does it look like a misprint?
Okay, let's try. Silence. Ask an Allstate agent about the Safe Driving bonus check. Are you in good hands?
No pictures of trucks pulling boats. No photos of men working on ranches. Just a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel that gets 156 more miles per tank than the Ford F-150 EcoBoost. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Hi, this is Connor.
Sorry I missed you. I'm either away from my desk or on another call. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you just as soon as I'm available. Thank you for your patience at this busy time.
Join us for stargazing with Discovery at Sea. Enjoy cruises from $4.99 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
A new problem that has just developed in the past couple of hours is a little bit of freezing drizzle, some light snow, Cleveland, Buffalo, especially Buffalo, and it's causing issues on the roads.
And you know, by the way, Lake Erie almost completely frozen over at this point, so you're not seeing lake effect be the issue. It is indeed the sort of borderline cold, 30, 31 degrees out there on the roadways, and those winds gusting about 14 miles per hour. So heads up if you're heading along I-80, I-90, 79, the PA Turnpike. Looking at the purple in particular, that's that freezing rain advisory north of Pittsburgh towards Wilkes-Barre, and Buffalo, Cleveland, Columbus, all in that winter weather advisory.
I don't want to be outside anywhere in that area. Just, you know, windy with freezing drizzle does not sound comfortable at all or good to drive in. So be careful out there today.
And we're starting to get in some of the snow totals officially from Winter Storm Iola. There are some spots that are still picking it up, but here's what we have thus far. Highland Lakes, Pennsylvania, 9 inches. That seems to be one of the big winners on the map. And Worcester, Mass at about 4.5 inches with Providence, Rhode Island at about 2.5.
All right, so how about how much more to get out of the system? Because it is still snowing, and we're going to pick up, we think, about 3 to 5 inches of snow in northeastern Maine. That's where the snow will just take a little bit longer to taper off as the system continues to track into the Canadian Maritimes, and bring a lot of impacts there too. But for us in the U.S., we're looking at the snow wrapping up through the next several hours overnight tonight.
And even the winds may be starting to ease a little bit in some spots in the Northeast, so that's good news too. Now, speaking of the snow, it may look light and fluffy when it falls from the sky, but when you need to clear the snow from the sidewalks and the driveways, you may be surprised to learn just how much work it takes.
Sam Champion has some tips that lessen the load when shoveling snow in this edition of Brainstorm.
In mechanical terms, shoveling snow is a lever system. There's a fulcrum, the shoveler, and at the other end of the lever, there's a load, the snow. This configuration means we're at a mechanical disadvantage. For example, at a shovel length distance, 16 pounds of force are needed to lift just 6 pounds of snow. This is why shoveling snow can demand a huge effort. Clearing just a foot of light snow from a typical 1,000 square foot residential driveway would require the lifting of 3.3 tons of snow. That's the same as lifting 2 15-pound dumbbells for 22 minutes straight. And with the density of packed snow as high as 30 pounds per cubic foot, that's like you're lifting crushed asphalt. Each scoop of a shovel can be met with as much as 250 pounds of resistance. Overcoming this force can require a massive energy expenditure. As a result, an average male weighing about 175 pounds can burn more than 500 calories per hour, or the same as running 5 miles an hour for about 45 minutes. But there are certainly ways to ease this strain. Instead of reaching, you can move closer to the snow you're shoveling. This basically reduces the length of that lever, and the force needed to lift the snow can actually be cut in half. It also helps to keep your torso upright. Now this moves the stress that's put on your lower back to the legs. And that's key because your thigh muscles essentially act like jacks and can lift up to twice your own body weight. Now you've been brainstormed. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
Doesn't make it any easier just because you're supposed to be able to lift twice your body weight. All right, Boston, you're shoveling.
Yes, you are. This is a live look right now. Usually you see a little bit of the skyline and was at the Charles River.
Yes.
That's all frozen. Visibility obviously is down because we're still tracking the backside of the Iola snow, which hasn't quite moved through Massachusetts just yet.
Yeah, we got a couple more hours left in us here, Boston, and here is your forecast. Snow continuing through about 9 o'clock, and then after that you'll start to see the skies starting to clear out a bit. You might even and see some stars overnight tonight if you're up in the middle of the night. Temperatures, though, that's key to notice, 30 by 7 a.m. That is below freezing, so black ice.
And Boston Logan handling the snow right now pretty well. All right, we're getting some fantastic pictures of Winter Storm Iola.
We'll keep putting them on the air, so keep sending them, like this one from Lexington, Massachusetts.
Curling up in bed with a favorite book is nice, but I think women would rather curl up with their favorite man. But here's the thing. About half of men over 40 have some degree of erectile dysfunction. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection. And remember, you only take it when you need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Tomorrow night, we're taking our cameras to 14,000 feet.
This ain't a good place to make a mistake.
With these extreme fortune seekers.
Look how blue that is!
Gambling on the dig of their lives.
This is an absolute extreme situation. If this is my last year on the mountain, be a fine way to go out.
Season 3, Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Tomorrow at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, generally clear skies, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. High 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 52. Winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
With a firm handshake. Firm and not too firm. Make eye contact. Smile. I know! Don't do that! Try New Head & Shoulders Instant Relief. It has tea tree and peppermint that cools on contact. And also keeps you 100% flake-free. I use it for cooling scalp relief in a snap. Mi bebé ha crecido tanto! Try New Head & Shoulders Instant Relief for cooling relief in a snap.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Fiber One now makes cookies. Find them in the cookie aisle.
Hey, big guy. I heard you lost a close one today. Look, Jamie, maybe we weren't the lowest rate this time. But when you show people their Progressive Direct rate and our competitors' rates, you can't win them all. The important part is you help them save.
Thanks, Flo.
Hey, let's go get you an ice cream cone, champ.
The sprinkles?
Sprinkles are for winners.
I understand.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru. The Subaru
Xfinity from Comcast gives you a front row seat to every team in the NHL. With NHL Center Ice, you can follow your favorite teams no matter where you live. You get up to 40 out-of-market games a week. And with the Sports app, only on X1, you can see all the live scores in real time and easily switch between close games. Order NHL Center Ice right now for just 4 easy payments of $24.99. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online.
Located in a discreet and tranquil Palm Beach County, Florida setting, the Rehab Center for Women provides expert and compassionate care for women who are suffering from substance abuse, trauma, and mental illness. We offer custom treatment plans, including medical detox and specialized rehab to give women the strength and focus they need to begin living the lives they deserve. You don't have to suffer anymore. Call 888-302-5579 or visit helpforwomen.com to start healing today.
You say it, we build it free. Call 1-877-596-0482 today.
Every Sunday, the Titans of Weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
It's 50 minutes past the hour. Time for the winter weather updates.
And, you know, usually when you have one winter storm kind of winding down, our experts can get a little bit of a breather. But, Carl, you have your hands full with the next one.
Yeah, you know, this next one is probably going to be a much more serious storm than this one we just saw. We're talking about potentially as much as a foot of snow or more up and down that 95 corridor. And believe it or not, the origins of this storm actually now are over the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. Let's begin with the visible satellite picture. We're beginning to lose the light already. The sun is starting to set there along the west coast of the U.S. We've put the upper level winds on top of this, and you've got a large area of very strong wind, 150 miles per hour or better, and then within that a core of 200 mile per hour winds right through there. So an incredibly strong jet stream, and that jet stream is going to come across into western parts of Canada and then start to dive down into the middle of the U.S. Now that's really going to help to shape what's going to happen here on the East Coast, because once that happens, it's going to create this very contorted pattern where you've got this big swing of the jet stream well out into the Atlantic, and then it hooks a left and comes back up in here. And so with a flow like that, when you've got that really exaggerated flow, things don't move very quickly. When you've got a jet stream that basically runs from west to east, storms move right along. In a case like this with a highly amplified pattern, very meridional flows, we say, you just don't get a lot of fast movement, which means that you're talking about a 2-day event occurring here across the East Coast.
So our storm gets stuck, basically.
Exactly.
It gets stuck in an environment that is really good for strengthening storms.
And that's not going to stop the precipitation at all.
No, right. It's going to be very heavy precipitation. We're talking about a storm that's going to be as strong or stronger than this last one, but slow moving as well. And when we zoom in on these upper level winds, here you've got upper winds that are really accelerating. So as we go from these blue colors getting into the purples and then the white, the winds are really picking up in speed. And as we've mentioned before, when you're in a traffic jam and it begins to clear out, the cars start to space out. That's exactly what happens with the air particles. And when they're spacing out like that, then you've got a bit of a vacuum, and nature doesn't like that. So it pulls up air from below to fill that, and that rising motion makes this low much stronger. And when that low gets much stronger and it's not moving very quickly, that means a lot of weather. Now, in the past, we've had, in the last several weeks, we've had a number of storms where it was wet along the coast and it was snow farther inland. Look at the rain-snow line in this case.
All the way off
way
the
out
coast.
there. I mean, that's, you know, just tremendously far out there. So there's more than enough cold air in place, and so this is all going to be snow.
Why wouldn't this happen? We always have to ask the question, right? What would be working against this happening?
Well, at this point, I don't see that there's going to be a lot that's working against it. There's a lot of model support for this, and we've talked about the European model. You know, the European model is a great model, but then they take that model and they rerun it 50 times with slightly different conditions, and if that then supports this, then you could say, well, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to get a serious storm.
And it does.
It does support it, and it looks like we're talking about a foot or more along the 95 corridor, maybe even a lot more in some areas.
That's a day or two off of school for a lot of students right there.
It certainly could be. Very disruptive storm.
And it's one day of prep, really. We're talking tomorrow, kind of your day to get that breather.
Well, as you said earlier, it's not a bad idea to make sure you have what you need, like batteries for your flashlights, your bread, your milk, your eggs, all that kind of stuff.
See you in the grocery stores tomorrow, folks. All right, thanks, Carl. We've been getting some great pictures, and I have to say, this is my favorite.
Oh, you're not,
I'm not biased at all. This is from my sister. out of Bergen County, New Jersey. She got about 8 inches of snow. That's this morning on the top picture, and then that gorgeous sunset later on in the evening.
Well, I just have to compliment the picture. I love how she took both from the same vantage point. Yeah, that photography runs in the family there, Maria. This one is a great one, too, though. Great color. This is Central Pennsylvania. TV agent Steve sent this on Twitter. He's a Penn Stater, so we are thankful for this great-looking shot.
And it tells a story, too, that you did have some clearing, got some blue skies after all of that snowfall. And we've had pictures coming in from the Hudson Valley and New Jersey, too, Perth Amboy. This one coming in from us, so we appreciate Hurricane Force 1 sending this photo in.
All right, let's show you what it looked like in the Hudson Valley. A nice new coat of snow, but a lot of folks are hoping to get their snowmobiles out. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get it out tomorrow, you have another chance late next week after this other storm system we're talking about comes on through.
And we love getting those pictures. Keep them coming. It helps us tell the story, which we're going to need when Sunday comes around, because we're talking about that next big storm behind it. Don't forget, back in 60 seconds.
Current Tonight, generally clear skies, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds, high 70, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 52, winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The relentless winter is bringing a double punch to the Northeast.
As Winter Storm Iola is wrapping up, the next storm system on the way, and it could be another big snowmaker.
And we are breaking down the timing, plus incredible images from Iola. That is next on this special edition of Weather Center Live.
Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Jen Carfagno.
I'm Maria LaRosa. Another busy day in the Northeast. We're in our lab, and our storm specialist Carl Parker going to talk to you about how everybody's going to be impacted by this next big storm too.
It really looks like this is going to be the real deal Holyfield coming up here on Tuesday and Wednesday. Could easily be a foot of snow, or maybe a lot more in some areas.
It starts in the Midwest, it tracks into the Northeast, and it sticks around. So we'll have more on this coming up. We do need to let you know what's happening out there right now. Today's storm has left a mark. This is a look at a parking garage in Secaucus, New Jersey. Looks like the roof collapsed here, possibly from under the weight of the snow.
And perhaps under the weight of that snowplow.
Yeah.
Look at that stuck in there. This happens to be coming from our affiliate WNBC in New York, from Brian Thompson there. Up to 9 inches of snow has fallen in that area since last night. Another area picking up as much as half a foot. And over Massachusetts so far, 4.5 inches to about, we've seen as much as half a foot.
Mike Seidel is live in Andover now. Mike, what is your running total of snow? Do you know?
Pushing 6 inches. We had about 5. Then during the afternoon, we had some warming aloft, so we had some sleet, a little freezing drizzle. And now the snow coming down is a drier snow. In fact, I'll take the top off the snow that fell, and it's not as easy to pack. So the temperature has come down to about 30 degrees. You can still make a snowball, but it certainly doesn't have the moisture content it did earlier. Looking up Main Street, beautiful, iconic Andover, Mass. This is a lovely New England town, and you'll notice the streets are primarily wet with some slush. They continue to plow. They've got over 200 pieces of equipment out here, and they're going to do this until the snow stops, then work on the 2-lane roads, the side streets, and they've got all these sidewalks, hundreds of miles of sidewalks to plow here in Andover. So they're going to be on top of this through the evening and overnight as needed. And then they're going to get a break. They know about what's on the way, Jen, what's coming in Monday night and Tuesday, more likely after the Monday rush hour, and they're going to rest up. And as we found out earlier, they'll be working 12 to 16-hour shifts as they have to deal with snow that's going to be drier, more powdery, and more wind. Right now, the wind's only about 10 miles an hour, so we have the risk of blowing and drifting as we get into the next one. Jen?
It really is going to be a different beast, Mike. Wait around. I'm going to come back to you in a second. I want to quickly show the radar of what's happening because Mike is not done yet in the snow. Look at this. We still have this band, this steadier snow to scoot through where Mike is, and then we will watch for things to wrap up. It's already done for us around Springfield, Worcester. It's about to wrap up as well, but still in the snow in Boston, Hartford, we're about done, and Providence, we got another hour or maybe 2 at most left in us here with this system. So we're tracking the snow moving on out, and again, those temperatures have been in the low 30s right now, but coming down in the overnight. And Mike, I know they've been out there all day today clearing the roads, but is there slush on the roads? Is it going to be an issue with black ice overnight?
Well, there is slush out here. There's slush everywhere because there's a lot of salt out here. Now, the roads that have been heavily salted like these in the downtown area, they're not going to freeze up. They're going to stay slushy all night. It's the roads that haven't been salted. And again, they're going to salt all the 2-lane roads. It's your driveways, private roads, parking lots, things like that will freeze up overnight. Here's that forecast. By tomorrow morning, down in the mid to the upper 20s. Tomorrow, a beautiful day. Lots of sun. We'll get melting on the sunny side of the street. And this will also help out the roads that have been plowed. They'll tend to dry up. That's going to be a big factor because Monday morning we're going to drop down into the single numbers here in the suburbs of Boston, and that's going to lock everything up. Monday is the get ready day. Get what you need to do because right now it looks like Tuesday you probably won't be going anywhere with this next storm on tap, Jen. It's going to be it could be a big one, as Carl mentioned. Double-digit totals, certainly in the realm of possibility. Jen?
Wind and cold too, Mike. Thank you for that. There, get some rest because you were going to be busy. Hope Mike packed a lot in a suitcase. He's stuck in town for a couple of days, I think. Now tonight, though, we still have to worry about tonight. The snow is moving out, yes, but the cold is moving in, Maria.
And Mike brought up a good point. You have some of the melting from some of the ice, some of the salt that's been there to treat the ice on the roadways now, and then you have those temperatures dropping. So that is the formula for bringing about some of the black ice. So we're tracking the remnants of it. So precipitation-wise, the roadways, that's going to be less of an issue. But as we go through time, you have the winds. That's also going to help dry the roadways. Another good thing. However, you have any lingering moisture on the roadways and temperatures that are at or close to at or below freezing, you're going to see those conditions persist. So let's time it out for you with those winds still out of the west-northwest. Everywhere you see the shaded color, you're at or below freezing. Notice the time stamp here as we get through just before sunrise. Once the sun comes up, I-80 is kind of that mark line there, where north of there you still have temperatures that are going to be staying in the 20s, close to freezing. South of there you have the sun working for you, but also the temperatures to ease that black ice threat.
Yeah, so things will improve there sooner rather than farther to the north.
Yeah.
All right, so next system. Mike talked about it. Carl, everyone's now learning about it. Tell us sort of the quick summary.
Well, you know, what we look for when we're looking at modeling is we look for run-to-run consistency. We look for consistency between the models. And the GFS model came out this afternoon. The GFS showed similarly, just like the European model is showing, a very strong storm coming up here on Tuesday and Wednesday in the Northeast, and showing it moving pretty slowly, which means serious impacts going on for a long period of time. Now, this is the European model. We'll show you what the European model is doing. And a lot of times when we look at the European model, we have to ask whether or not the entire family of models, all 51 members of the ensembles under the umbrella, the title of European model, are agreeing with the European operational run. And in this case, yes, they are very much agreeing. A lot of times we see a sort of watered down solution when we look at the mean of those ensemble members. We're not seeing that in this case. The ensemble members are right there with the operational. What they are telling us is that there's a lot of support for this idea of a low pressure getting going right in here. Notice that we put the freezing line on, which is right there, so there's going to be no shortage of cold air in this case. We've seen a lot of storms in recent weeks where it's been very wet along the coast and then snowier inland. In this case, that freezing line is well offshore. So you're talking about a full-fledged snowstorm here and a really strong one. So going from Monday into the middle of the day on Tuesday, impacts getting worse and worse. We watch banded precipitation bands of very heavy snow, most likely setting up and moving into the Northeast hour after hour after hour with strong wind on top of that. And then this continues right through the day on Tuesday and even into Wednesday morning. So the upshot then is that we are talking about potentially very heavy snow there along the 95 corridor. And this could be one of those storms that we remember for a long, long time.
And it's about that time of year for one.
It is.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It would be the first big one of this season. So we're in the middle of covering one big major storm. We've got another one on the way.
And Iola still impacting Portland, Maine, looking live there.
Why do you want to shop Walmart's new selection of stylish frames? Because you need a surprisingly low price to match that surprising new look.
Oh, sorry. My ringtone.
The new frames and new styles you want are at the Walmart Vision Center, starting at $58. Walmart.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Here are the keys, man. It's all mine?
Parenthood isn't gonna change me. I'll still see the guys every weekend. And rock out in the basement. Please.
Hey, where are you?
I'm still king of this castle.
Lots of great features. You're gonna love the backseat pocket.
It's not like I'm gonna get a minivan.
Life can surprise you. So can an Allstate agent. Now they can save you $3,000 on a new car with the Allstate car buying service. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. High 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 52. Winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, the Titans of weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
No super slow motion footage of trucks splashing through the mud. No cowboy hats, horses, or hay bales. Just a Ram 3500 that head-to-head can out-tow Ford's F-350 by more than 1.5 tons. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
You get sick, you can't breathe through your nose. Suddenly, you're a mouth breather. Well, put on a Breathe Right strip and instantly open your nose up to 38% more than cold medicines alone. So you can breathe and sleep. Shut your mouth and sleep right. Breathe Right.
Brand new into the Weather Channel. This is a video now of that parking garage collapse. We showed you the picture earlier. This is out of Secaucus, New Jersey, and still trying to figure out what led to that collapse. Obviously, you see a snowplow sunken in. Look at that. That top layer, that top floor, all the way down to the floor beneath it. Still trying to figure out if it was the weight of the snow, some kind of defect, or even the weight of the snow and the snowplow. So obviously, we're still waiting to hear that information, but there you go, brand new video in about regarding that parking garage collapse in Secaucus, New Jersey. Doesn't look like anyone was injured either, so that's some good news. But pretty incredible, right? When we're talking about one storm system and we already have our eye on the next one. Remember, Iola came from the south and worked its way up the coast. The next one for a city like Boston, this one's coming to you from a clipper. So you have today the snow winding down. Tomorrow and then Monday you see the clouds and the increase, but by Tuesday it's a whole nother ball game here with that next big one taking shape. It starts again as a clipper in the Midwest. Got plenty of cold air to work with. It's already in place. And as it rolls through the Midwest, Ohio Valley, those areas in blue also going to be the spots that are going to be picking up the snow. But then you get to the coast as we get into Monday and Tuesday, and that's when you see that everything get amped up just a bit. You've got tomorrow with the snow showers, basically following Interstate 80 and 90. Tomorrow, Monday, you now have D.C., Philly, Pittsburgh, and Allentown in play. And then, Jen, you can see New England once again on Tuesday. Boston going to be the next big snowmaker for them.
All right, so let's start with the clipper and take it into the Northeast and look at some of the details of what's happening. We can actually see this thing diving down into North and South Dakota right now. First stop is the water vapor, and this lets us see how the air is moving, what the water vapor is doing, how it's moving around. And look at this. We're going to circle this, and you can see this little spin right here. This is the low. This is the energy that's going to be diving in through the Midwest and eventually gets to the Northeast. So for now, what it's doing is bringing snow into North Dakota, and actually where it's warm enough, we got some rain on the southern edge of it all. But you can actually see that rotation a bit, even on the radar around that area of low pressure. So this is what we're tracking. It's already begun. We have the snow. We're going to see more of it overnight tonight in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, northern Illinois tomorrow morning. That's you, Indiana, Ohio. By Sunday night, we're looking at the snow moving into Pennsylvania. So in terms of how much snow, it's a clipper. And as a lot of you have come to expect with clippers, it's not terribly heavy snowfall. But this one, when it gets to the Mid-Atlantic, will have a different story to tell.
Exactly. And that darker shade of blue right there, you're talking Indianapolis to Columbus over to Pittsburgh. That's that 3 to 5 corridor. But speaking of corridors, this is going to have huge impact on travel because it's the weekend travel, and then we're going to bleed that into the early part of the week.
That's right. So Interstate 80, overnight tonight, the snow is going to start moving in, and by tomorrow morning you're going to have snow to deal with. I think especially leaving neighborhoods and trying to get to the interstate is where we'll run into some slick streets.
And so we got you through the midday tomorrow. Notice I-70 in the green, that's the red, that's the rainfall, but you see by the evening the blue's taking over, so changing driving conditions along I-70.
And then you go into Sunday night and you start talking about making plans for the next day, and kids going to school on Monday. We're going to start thinking about that because snow into Pennsylvania as we get you into overnight Sunday into Monday.
Iola still a factor today. Our eyes are set on that next one, but we'll talk about the wind component to all of it.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with efficiency? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
This year, one film has floored the critics. Whiplash is on over 30 top 10 lists.
I push people beyond what's expected of them.
Nominated for 4 Independent Spirit Awards, 4 Critics' Choice Awards.
I want to be one of the greats.
Winner of the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor, and nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year.
Cool.
Whiplash, rated R, now playing at a theater near you.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu. Serious power.
Hi, you've reached Emma. I'm out of the office right now, but we'll get back to you just as soon as I possibly can. Your call is important to me.
Join us for exclusive Discovery at Sea experiences. Enjoy cruises from $4.99 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
Oh, there's an energy crisis happening, all right. A human one. And it's time to fight it. With the good energy of Quaker Oats. It's how we help keep go-getters like you going and getting. One bite at a time. Try new Quick Steel Cut oatmeal for a heartier texture. Quaker Up.
Why do you want to shop Walmart's new selection of stylish frames? Because you need a surprisingly low price to match that surprising new look.
Oh, sorry. My ringtone.
The new frames and new styles you want are at the Walmart Vision Center, starting at $58. Walmart.
Tomorrow night, we're taking our cameras to 14,000 feet.
This ain't a good place to make a mistake.
With these extreme fortune seekers.
Look how blue that is!
Gambling on the dig of their lives.
Get down now!
This is an absolute extreme situation. If this is my last year on the mound, be a fine way to go out.
Game Day First is first on Sundays, baby.
And Game Day Morning has exclusive interviews.
Game Day Highlights is all about the afternoon games.
And Game Day Final is last on to bring you analysis of all the games.
Camp out with NFL Game Day all Sunday long, only on NFL Network.
Brought to you locally by South Florida Ford. Go further. Online at southfloridaford.com.
$499 to refinance? No points? No search or title fees? No other Valley fees? Is this for real?
Of course. I'm Jerry Lipkin, Chairman and President of Valley National Bank. At Valley, homeowners can refinance for a $499 origination fee. No points, no other Valley fees.
They would take better care of her. Always.
Protect what matters. Get flood insurance.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny, high 70, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 52, winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back into the special edition of Weather Center Live, and we've been dealing with Iola, still impacting New England with some snow, but that's we're already moving on to the next
I mean that snow is pulling out, and we've got our eyes on this next winter storm, which is going to be a different one. It starts as a clipper, but it becomes even bigger off the northeast coast.
And we talked a lot about the fact that this storm was going to be a bomb, and it was in fact a bomb, meaning that it dropped explosively in terms of pressure. It got much, much stronger in a very short period of time. And this next one is going to be a bomb, but the difference in this next case is it's going to last for a long time. It's not going to be a quick hitter at all. And here's a look at the upper level pattern. These are height lines in the mid levels of the atmosphere, and so this is a pressure slope basically showing you where the 500 millibar heights are. And as we take this forward, you're going to watch this little clipper come down. It's not very much of a system initially, but then it deepens dramatically, and then notice this sort of a teardrop configuration, and then it separates from this flow that's up here across eastern parts of Canada. That separation, that cutting off in the upper levels is what allows this thing to only very slowly move along for a couple of days, really. So when you're talking about a storm of a very high magnitude that also lasts for a long time, that's what really makes the difference in this next case.
Are we going to be talking a bit about track, though, like how close it is to the coast versus how far away? Is that going to become an issue?
I'm sure it will be some of an issue, but, you know, as I've been saying before, before, there is a fair amount of agreement between the models, the European, the GFS, and then when we look at all the ensemble members, there's a lot of agreement there too. So it's amazing how much model convergence we've seen just in the last day or so. Sometimes they're kind of all over the place and they're wiggling. They're not doing that, at least not right now.
And that's great for us as communicators because we're more confident in the message and we can give you guys days of advance notice.
Right, and we're not very far away right now. I mean, we're talking about really a couple of days when this gets going, and let's take a look at how that's going to shape up. So you've got this clipper moving along that's not really doing a whole lot. Early on, you're getting some light snow around the lakes. That's about it. A little bit of snow comes over there into D.C., but then that low bombs out. It gets very, very strong, and it comes up here into New England. This right in here, this is very heavy snow. The freezing line well offshore, heavy snow with strong wind going all day Tuesday and then into Wednesday as well. So right now what we're thinking is that the heaviest of snow is likely right there in the heart of that megalopolis along I-95, Boston all the way down into Philly.
I wonder how far south some of that's. There's a lot of cold air, you know?
Right.
Well, you saw a little bit of that shading far south into Virginia.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a tougher call for D.C., but we shall see. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Carl, thank you.
And we've been telling you earlier today, a parking garage in New Jersey partially collapsed. We're not sure what the cause is just yet.
But snow had been coming down on that part of New Jersey all day. Here's the latest from Secaucus, New Jersey.
And so we'll keep an eye on the developments of this story because when you see the picture, you know that the snow has fallen. There were some spots that picked up 8-9 inches, but you also had the weight of the actual snow plow in that spot in that sunken spot. So you have to wonder if there was a combination of it.
There's a lot that we don't know really. You know, we've seen video and we've seen some pictures here, but you can see that collapse. You can see the snow. I mean, 9 inches of snow is not a tremendous amount. There likely had to be more than just that involved in this.
And structurally, a parking garage like that, I mean, that's very strong. It holds up. Its job is to hold up dozens and dozens of cars. So you have to wonder what that cause was. But of course, we'll keep an eye on this. And for obvious reasons too, with heavy snow in the forecast, that is a real threat. Roof collapse
when you
because
start
of that
talking
heavy
about
snow.
a foot, you know, plus of snowfall from the next storm system that's coming on in. I will say about the snow that fell today in New Jersey, looking at some of just the record reports that have come out, it was a daily record for some spots. Like in Newark at the airport, they picked up 5 inches, and that was a daily snowfall record.
So a lot of snow from Iola. We are keeping an eye on what's headed our way still. We're going to go to Mike Seidel. He's at a spot that's still seeing some of that snow in Andover, Massachusetts. It's been falling for a few hours and maybe a few hours more.
Before Mars, before the moon, we did the impossible again and again. Live the future of space travel at Exploration Space, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Always exploring.
Please?
The run-of-the-mill everyday headache.
Please? No.
Not bad enough for a lot of medicine,
Nope.
but still bad enough that you want it gone fast.
Please, go talk to your father.
Introducing Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Oh,
what a headache.
Actually, my headache's gone. This new Excedrin really does work fast.
The National Headache Foundation gives it a seal of approval for everyday headaches. New Excedrin Mild Headache.
Wow, that was fast.
Okay, listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure. 24 vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and 9 grams of protein.
Ensure, nutrition in charge.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Service to aisle 3, please. Service to aisle 3.
Children, I am your father.
all have a Disney side. And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
Why do you want to shop Walmart's new selection of stylish frames? Because you need a surprisingly low price to match that surprising new look.
Oh, sorry. My ringtone.
The new frames and new styles you want are at the Walmart Vision Center, starting at $58. Walmart.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Before 3, 2, 1, we built a gateway to the cosmos, following the steps of heroes on the Kennedy Space Center bus tour, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Always exploring.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 48, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. High 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 52. Winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, the Titans of Weather bring the rain.